Okay, hello and welcome to lesson 6 of topic 28, inequalities. Now, so far we've covered all 4 of these bullet points to begin with. We're now going to focus on this one here, solving quadratic inequalities in one variable by factorising and sketching the graph to find critical values. Now, this is one of the most complicated parts of inequalities, and we need to just review our work on quadratics first before we get into the actual concept of quadratic inequalities. So the next 2 lessons, starting today, will just mainly be focused on quadratics and understanding how to find certain values from them, and also then how to sketch the graph, okay? So we're working on this one, but specifically on this part here, the factorising and sketching of graphs there, okay? So factorising, solving and sketching quadratics will be your title. And essentially, to begin with, we just need to remember how it is that we go about solving and factorising a quadratic like this. So when you've got a quadratic like this, we're looking at 3 terms, x squared minus 4x and minus 45. What we're looking for here is we're looking for 2 brackets. And we're looking for 2 numbers that multiply to make negative 45 and add to make negative 4. So if you write down a quick list of things that times to make negative 45, you've got negative 45 times 1, negative 1 times 45, negative 15 times 3, negative 3 times 15, negative 9 times 5, negative 5 times 9. So that's our list of factors of negative 45, pairs of numbers that multiply to make negative 45. We're looking for the pair that adds to make negative 4. So, looking down that list, the pair that adds to make negative 4 is going to be this one. So therefore you would write x, take away 9, and x plus 5. So that at the moment is factorised. Okay, so that's factorising this quadratic. Now I'm just going to get rid of this bit. Please rewind and watch that bit if you need to. So that's factorised. If we were to look to solve it, first of all, we'd need to know that it was equal to 0. And then secondly, we would need to be reminded that to get the 2 solutions from here, you're looking to say what value of x makes that bracket 0. Okay? So what value of x makes that 0? And similarly with this one, what value of x makes that 0? Now, a lot of people just think about swapping the signs, which is a slight shortcut to it. But what we're looking for here is something take away 9 equals 0. If you move the 9 over, you've got x equals 9 here. So that's the first solution. And then if you move the 5 over here, you've got x equals negative 5. So that's solved the quadratic. And now the final part of this is how does this translate to a sketch? So if you imagine you've got some axes here, how does this relate to the quadratic on a sketch? So the shape of a quadratic when x squared is positive is the parabola, so that kind of U shape. And what you found here is, yes, you found the solutions to the quadratic, but those solutions are also the x-intercepts, okay? So if you look here, x equals 9, and this is just a sketch, it doesn't need to be perfect at all. We're saying x is 9 is around there. X is negative 5, we're looking somewhere around there. And then because you've got the general shape of a quadratic is a parabola, you're looking for a sketch that looks something like that. Now that's as far as we need to go at the moment with this particular topic. You will need to join this up a little bit more when you get into year 11 in terms of a y-intercept. Some of you will have looked at a minimum point as well in completing the square, that sort of thing. Now you do need to know those concepts, and that's something that you will practice, but not for this particular topic of quadratic inequalities, okay? So, factorise, solve, and then sketch. I'll look at another example. Same sort of thing, we're looking to factorise first, so numbers that times to make 16 and add to make negative 10. So the fact that that's negative and that's positive, I'm looking for things that times to make a positive number. If I start thinking about just positive numbers, that's not going to get me a negative sum when I try and add them together. So actually I need to think about both of them being negative, because negative times negative will make a positive, but they will add to give a negative sum. So those two those two, and actually straight away I can look at that first one and see that that's going to be my solution there, -8 and -2, because they multiply to make 16, but they add to make -10. So that's factorised. In terms of solving, we've got these two solutions. So that's solved. And then in terms of sketching, we've got solutions of 2 and of 8. So our quadratic here is going to look like that. And again, I'd like you to copy that one down in the same way that you would have done with the previous one. Now, you can try that one if you would like. It ends up with a quadratic that looks like this. So if you want to try that one yourself, you can. But I'd like to move on quickly to something like this. Okay, we're just going to look at 2 more variations of quadratics. Now the first one is this one. You need to look at that and think difference of 2 squares. Okay, so a specific way of factorising a quadratic. Now the reason for that is because you've got x squared, you've got a negative, and then you've got a square number there. Okay, and you can do completing the difference of 2 squares without a square number, but 9 times out of 10 this will be a square number. So when you see this and recognise it, you're looking to say x plus 10, x minus 10. So you've square rooted the x squared to give you x, you've square rooted the 100 to give you 10, 1 plus 1 minus, okay? Now from there, that's factorised. You're then looking to solve. Those are my solutions. And then finally, you're looking at a sketch. Like that, okay? Don't worry too much about how narrow or how wide your quadratic is. We're literally just looking for a sketch in this particular topic. Final one is this one, and this is one that catches people out all the time. What we're looking for here is when you look at that, you should be thinking just one bracket. Okay, it can't go into 2 brackets, you don't have enough terms there, and it's not difference of 2 squares. So we're just looking for one bracket here in terms of how to factorise. So to factorise this, you look at what's common there, and the only thing that's common is x. And once you've divided that x squared by x, you're left with x here. Once you divide 7x by x, you're left with 7. Okay, so that would be factorised there. And you can check that just by expanding it. X times x is x squared, x times 7 is 7x. Now, solutions to this, and the reason I wanted to emphasise this is because people sometimes miss a solution here. Most people are happy with this idea, okay, with that solution. But don't forget that what you've got here is also x equals 0. Okay, so you do have 2 solutions there. You've got x equals 0 and x equals -7. So, on your sketch, you're looking for something around there, and you're looking for a quadratic like that. Okay, so you may need to rewind this and just watch it again, because some of these bits can be a little bit complicated. But what we're looking to do every time is to factorise, to solve, and then to sketch, okay? So have a go at the questions in the booklet, and please let your teacher know if you've got any questions. Thank you.